whenever the fixtures come out, first thing you always check is when's Arsenal away? What am I doing? That definitely isn't my missus's birthday. That's fine. But you just kind of get that feeling of dread.
You love this stadium, innit? That's why you're trying to build one like it.
It is. How does it make you feel? Is it something you don't worry about, or do you worry about it?
Oh gosh, I worry about this game badly, you know. I think I worry about it a bit more when I go to your place, because obviously you've got a much better record against us there. Here we've got a very good record against you, but obviously I worry about it because, you know, if you lose this game, and you know, especially for someone like me, that all the Spurs fans know who I am, I get so much grief.
What is that like?
So much, it's horrible.
Because as Spurs fans coming here, it's not as intimidating as it must be for you lot to come.
Nah, yeah, it's completely different. I think obviously this is a modern stadium, and it'll probably be the same when you build yours, but I mean, you guys will come in over the bridge, and you walk, and you literally walk straight over, and you'll come straight into the ground. So it's pretty easy to kind of segregate the two sets of fans. It's not as hostile in the way in which it's at your place, walking down Seven Sisters Road. I mean, you're running a gauntlet almost sometimes. So, you know, but it is hostile. I mean, your fans come, they don't wear no colours when they come here. When we go to your place, we don't wear no colours. It is the most hostile game for, you know, Arsenal fans. Who cannot forget the 5-2 thrashing of Tottenham Hotspur? Do you remember that one? You're holding it up.
Well, there was two, but this one was particularly painful for me. Because,
first of all, that kit that he was wearing on the day.
It's pretty grim, isn't it? Well, I mean, going into the game, we needed to win to go above Arsenal, I think, if I remember rightly, and we were pretty confident. Spurs had been playing well at the time.
You had a good team as well at that time.
Yeah, I think it was under Villas-Boas, and we were cruising. The first 10-15 minutes, we had a goal ruled offside for Gallas. Adebayor came back to haunt Arsenal.
Yeah. I remember that day, man. He was getting so much stick, and then he scored, and it was like we all knew. You know, one of the moments where you just know that returning guy's good, and he did ready public enemy number one for that time when he scored against us with City, and I think,
do you know what, man? He's one of the Spurs fans and Arsenal fans hate him, and that's probably the only thing that joins us both. But he was great. He was fired up for this game, and then he did that silly lunge on Santi Cazorla and got sent off. And
that was the game changer.
And do you know how bad it is in a derby? It's bad enough having to play a derby with 11 versus 11, but to lose a man in the derby is a horrendous feeling.
Yeah, I must admit, I remember the game. You guys started off really, really well, really rapid. I was a bit fearful even before the game, because at that time you had a decent team.
Right,
Bale, Defoe, you know, Adebayor as well. He was playing really well. You know, you had a good team at that time, and you started off. You came and you were right. I'm on the front foot, and I was like, hey, hello. But once that sending off happened, the whole game just changed, and you lot just fell apart.
Do you know what? I hate coming here. I hate this. I don't even feel.
You love it here, man.
I feel horrible just being here, like having that as a backdrop. Whoever came up with this idea of the video and he'd shoot him, coming up with
you love it.
It's horrible, but it's terrible when you go 1-0 down, and that's what happened. And it was just, I knew that I'd have 75 minutes to sit through this game, watching us getting pillared, and I think Mertesacker evened it up.
Mertesacker with a great header.
That's right.
I remember that. Oh, yeah. I remember Cazorla scored in the game as well.
Yeah.
It was just a great day. I mean, listen. Giroud. You know, North London derby, you crack 5 goals. I mean, it's heaven.
Well, I do remember.
You know, we all know that, you know, it's for each fan, for Spurs fans, for Arsenal fans, it's a horrible game, because before the game, you're so nervous, you don't want to lose it.
Yeah. It's either the best or worst day of the season.
Best or worst day.
We went on to lose, and that was that. It was one of the worst performances I'd seen. I think it's a year later or a year before we lost 5-2.
And you know what? That was the great thing about that, right? Is that it was the second time we've beaten you 5-2. I just remember that so vividly, right? You just like, everybody was just had these pictures after the game of the scoreboard, and it just said Arsenal 5, Tottenham 2. Brilliant.
Well, My favourite game at the Emirates is the only win Spurs have had here ever, I think. It's 17 years we hadn't beaten Arsenal at your place at all, and then cometh the hour, cometh the man. Yunus Kabul.
Yunus Kabul.
So do you remember the game, Rob? Right. So
Yeah.
it started out. Arsenal were playing superb. You were flash. You were classy. You were passing it around us. I had no shame in admitting that you were outplaying us for the first half. Shamak got a goal. I think Nasri scored one as well. And it's 2-0 down at half time, and I'm thinking, here we go again. Here we go again.
Happy days, man. I remember we were on the concourse. We were singing. What do you think of Tottenham?
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
I bet it was. I bet you felt absolutely superb. But I tell you what, you didn't feel as good as I felt at come full time.
Yeah, no, it's a nightmare, man. That day. Oh.
So we're 2-0 down, and you're thinking, like, we had a good team at the moment. We had Modric, we had Bale, we had Van der Vaart.
That was
Defoe.
Yeah, that was a good team. That was a very good. That was Harry's day, wasn't it? Harry Redknapp time, wasn't it?
That was the season after we qualified for Champions League.
Yeah, that was a very good. And do you know what? When you look at what some of those players have gone on to do, it makes you think to yourself, wow, if you'd have managed to have held on to them. But yeah, they were good.
Yeah, they were good, and they were magic on this day. And again, like the first half, you're thinking we've got a great chance. We're going into this game. This is the opportunity for Spurs to kind of stamp their authority over Arsenal for the first time in a long time. And it was like we're 2-0 down by half time, and it was horrendous. And then 5 minutes in, this is when Bale had arrived. Do you know what I mean? This was like he'd come to the fore, and he was everything that we knew he was, but the world was beginning to understand as well. So it was shortly. I think it was just after what he'd done in Milan and what he'd done to Inter Milan at White Hart Lane, where he destroyed Maicon and finished his career.
Taxi for Maicon.
That's right. Yeah, and he scored the first goal. And he toe poked it into the corner, and we was like 1-0 up. Then Fabregas, inexplicably, because he played brilliant in the first half of the game. Van der Vaart hit this crossing and he stuck his arm up and we got a penalty. Do you remember that? And Van der Vaart, right, he'd been missing penalties that season. He'd been having a nightmare, and he stood up and was like, "Come on, please, Rafa, please." And he passed it into the corner of the net, and he ran round the side of your goal, and he was like that to your fans. He was like, "Be quiet." and then he's celebrating with the fans, and you think, you know what? Take it. 2-2 at the Emirates. I'll take it now. We're 2-0 down. We got a free kick in 87th minute. Van der Vaart whipped it in. Kabul raised. Flicks it on past Szczesny. Szczesny had been out for 2 months. It was glorious, absolutely glorious.
That was a horrific day. I mean, to lose to you lot here, it's beyond horrible. You know what? When you lose a North London derby at home, it's so flat.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
You know, you walk away and you just feel like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to hide for the next week? You know what I mean? It is horrible, and I remember that game. That game. And do you know what you said? I was sort of like that. I was already so upset because I'm like, we've thrown away a 2-0 lead, 2-2, all right. But when you won it now, what?
Yeah, well, this is it.
I tell you, that was disgraceful.
It's that result that kind of gives you hope. It kind of gives you hold on to it, because Spurs have always, for a long time, have been beneath Arsenal and going into games as the underdogs, and still are, to be fair. And it's those moments. The fact that we might be able to relive that again, I don't know, man. It was a toss-up between this game and the 4-4 when we come back in the last minute, but.
I remember that one as well. Don't remind me about that one.
That's another video, I think.
Oh, no. I think that one's possibly worse. The only thing about that one is that half of your fans had already gone home.
Yeah, they had to be fair. God bless those that stayed, to be fair, because we were getting our arse handed to us, and then great game of football. So up here's where you do Arsenal Fan TV, right?
Yeah. This is our spot. So it's where the fans come after the game.
How many people usually did you get?
Do you know what, right? It's, you can get like a couple of hundred people there coming to do an interview after the game. If we beat you lot, it'll be more.
What if you lose, do you reckon? Still a few hundred? Or 10?
Now, if we lose, fans will still come to have their say on the game. Some of the games, when we've done, our fan camps here, when we've beaten Spurs, it's been absolutely electric around here. Can hardly even get a word in because everyone's just singing. So hopefully it'll be like that on Sunday. He likes his digs, doesn't he? We'll be singing on Sunday, mate. Don't worry about that.